I'm forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams. Dry right now in Metro Detroit, but there is rain just off to our south. Could we hear a rumble of thunder tomorrow? I'll have your forecast in just a few minutes.
Also first at 4, a husband charged with murder in the case of his missing wife. Prosecutors outline a motive and talk about DNA evidence. Also tracking a mysterious investigation at the University of Michigan. A member of the team's football staff is on leave this afternoon. What we've learned so far and what in the world is happening at this intersection in Plymouth. Plenty of people are talking turkey and worried about this bird's future. We'll explain first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are working to pinpoint the next storm system moving into Metro Detroit. It's a few hours away, but could bring a little bit of everything from snowflakes to thunder. Meteorologist Kim Adams watching the exact Track 40 radar to give us the very latest. Kim.
Well, we are dry through the evening commute, so you don't have anything to worry about there. But we are watching the rain come up through parts of central Indiana, Cincinnati getting some light rain right now. Then it gets a little heavier as you head down towards St. Louis. But back at home, things are nice and quiet. But you can see the movement here. We expect the rain to arrive sometime after about 10, 11 o'clock tonight. It may initially start as a rain-snow mix, but it will quickly change over to all rain. Then for the day tomorrow, we'll get a break midday from the heavy rain, and then more rain expected by 4 or 5 o'clock. Could be heavy at times, and wouldn't be surprised if we even heard a rumble of thunder. Here we are in January, still talking about the possibility of a few thunderstorms. I'll have your complete forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. We are looking into a report of possible computer crimes at the University of Michigan, and a member of the football team's coaching staff is on leave. His name is Matt Weiss, and he is the Wolverines' co-offensive coordinator. Local 4 has seen a U of M police log that shows a university employee reported someone accessing university email accounts without authorization. The school confirms a report came from Schembechler Hall in late December. ESPN reports Weiss says he's cooperating with a police investigation but can't comment further. It is a mysterious situation right now, and we will have a live update on Local 4 News at 5. You're about to see the 2 clues police are using to search for a bank robber over in Macomb County. Take a look at this. New Baltimore police say this is Jacob Edwards, and he is considered a person of interest in a robbery at a Huntington bank. The Macomb Township 18-year-old is wanted for questioning. Police investigating a robbery at the Huntington National Bank in downtown New Baltimore yesterday. Police are also looking for this brown or bronze Volkswagen Jetta. The license plate is 6NQN75. If you can help, please give police a call. Today, the Henry Ford Health System offered a new assessment of COVID-19 here in Southeast Michigan. The bottom line, it's not going away, and the latest variant should be on the rise here in the coming weeks.
This virus has been unrelenting since it hit Michigan, I think in March of 2020, and it's certainly been surprising us.
Dr. Dennis Cunningham says right now the new variant XBB.1.5 makes up about 14% of the cases here. He says Michigan is lagging behind the curve and is likely to catch up soon. The new variant causes symptoms like coughing, congestion, and headaches, so testing yourself remains critical, because if you do have pre-existing health conditions, there are treatments to make sure COVID doesn't turn more dangerous for you. While most people might get milder cases, the doctor says COVID still stands out from other illnesses like the flu, especially for people with other health concerns.
On average, if you look across the country, we have several hundred deaths a day, which is more than we typically see with flu or with other respiratory viruses. So even though the numbers are small, if you're in that high-risk group, a few hundred deaths a day becomes pretty significant.
The doctor says he's a big fan of vaccines, especially the newer bivalent version that's more effective against the newer variants. It's now approved for people as young as 6 months old. Well, we are learning about some new evidence in the case of a husband now charged with his missing wife's murder. The case in Massachusetts has been getting national attention. Prosecutors shared new details in court today. Devin Skillion following the very latest for us from the newsroom. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, good afternoon. Today, prosecutors laid out a gruesome scenario that claims Brian Walsh didn't want to divorce his wife, so he killed her, dismembered her body, and then discarded her remains. Walsh was in court this morning. Not guilty pleas were entered in his behalf. This was the first time prosecutors publicly said, though, they believe he murdered his wife, Anna, who vanished around New Year's Day. Investigators say Walsh went online to look for ways to get rid of a body, and items belonging to his wife with her DNA on them were found in a trash processing facility. Now, so far, Anna Walsh's body has not been found. Her husband was previously arrested on a charge of lying to investigators, so now he's charged with murder and being held without bond. His defense attorney says she will not comment on specifics of the case, but suggests that the evidence is not strong. Before today's arraignment, Anna Walsh's mother said she did not believe her son-in-law harmed her daughter. She was hoping her daughter might be alive and well somewhere. The couple's 3 children are in state custody right now. Their father will be back in court February 9th. Karen, back to you.
What a case. All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Devin. Well, President Biden is not talking, but the questions keep coming about his handling of those classified documents. The president addressed the scandal last week, saying he takes the issue very seriously, but he's deflected questions ever since. Documents were recently found at his Delaware home and in an office building in D.C. back in November. One of the biggest questions, why wasn't that discovery made public before the midterm elections? The documents are now the focus of a special counsel investigation that started last week. The White House is accusing Republicans of faking outrage after they seem less concerned about documents found in former President Trump's Florida home. He's also under investigation by another special counsel. One of the leaders trying to guide the U.S. economy has tested positive for COVID-19. We're talking about Federal Reserve Board Chair Jerome Powell. You're looking at file video of a previous public appearance. Right now, Powell is isolating at home and working remotely. We're told his symptoms are mild, and the 69-year-old is up to date on his COVID vaccinations and boosters. The Fed's next big meeting on interest rates is set for the end of the month. It's not Thanksgiving, but this turkey is becoming the talk of the town over in Plymouth. It's showing up at a really busy intersection, literally stopping traffic. Drivers can get a little frustrated, but people are also worried something bad might happen to the bird. Megan Woods spoke to an expert about what might finally convince the turkey to stop visiting.
We're here on Ann Arbor Road and Main Street, where drivers, businesses, pedestrians are saying they see that wild turkey regularly crossing this street about twice a week.
We hear the people are honking horns and stuff. We know the turkey is crossing the road.
We saw it for ourselves this afternoon. At this point, this turkey sighting has become the norm for Jay Smale, who works at this auto shop at the corner.
He crosses the road almost every day, going back and forth, very slowly, like he owns the road.
Sometimes the turkey just stands there. It's both frustrating and hilarious for drivers like Sue Steele.
I rolled down my window and I had a napkin or something in my front seat. I started waving it at the turkey. I was trying to get his attention. He never paid attention to me. He just stood there. He didn't move. He didn't do a thing.
A couple of weeks later,
if it isn't that turkey again, I said, am I seeing things?
Each time, she can't help but to think,
somebody's gonna kill this poor guy. But he's evidently accustomed to coming down Ann Arbor Road.
People have reached out to the Michigan DNR to catch this turkey and relocate it, but wildlife biologist Zach Cooley says it's not as easy as it sounds.
People say that they can feed them and get close to them, and you can get fairly close to them, but close enough to try to capture them and relocate them is very difficult, and we haven't had really any success with it here recently.
Across the state, they have trapped wild turkeys, but that is an intense process that may not work in this case.
We use rocket nets most of the time, which is an explosive that shoots the net out, and those are things that you just can't do in the city. So our options to deal with situations like this are very limited.
There is something people in this area can do, and that is stop feeding this turkey and any other urban wildlife. Michigan DNR says this urban wildlife is supposed to be afraid of people, and when you feed them, they return to that area, and that's pretty much what we're seeing in this situation. In Wayne County, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Megan. And while the DNR is limited on what they can do, they are tracking those wild turkey sightings. And we'll have more information on how you do that on clickondetroit.com.